Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Pumps, the channel where I keep you up to date with all the latest KRC20 and Caspa updates. We're going to go through a little price prediction, what I think. It's not financial advice, it's just for a bit of fun, and it's what I think Caspa is going to reach in 2025 and 2029. So we're just going to have a quick look. We'll just start off by looking at cas.fyi. So the hash rate you can see is above 500 and the highest is 535. So there's another big player mining there, we think, because that's shot up lately. And then the active wallet addresses as well has gone above 400,000. So around 401,000. So there's more people holding on to Caspa. To start off, I made this chart before a while ago. I have it in another video, but it's a good chart. I like it. It gives you an idea of when it might peak, looking at the previous bull cycles. So we start off here. So the first cycle kind of did its own thing. This is the second cycle. So the second halving was on the 9th of July 2016. And then the peak of the bull run was in 2018. So we have it in January. And then you have your halving here. And then you have your peak of the bull run. And then you have your halving here. And then possibly the peak of the next one that we're all waiting for. So if we start here, so the halving was in July 2016. And the peak happened, the top of the bull run was January 2018. So the reason I'm showing you this is because if we count back from this, if we go from the halving up to the peak of the bull run, it was 18 months exactly on this cycle. And if we go over here and we count up from the halving up to the bull run, it's exactly 18 months again. So the previous two cycles was 18 months from the halving up to the bull run. We'll count one here just to show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And it's the same with the previous one. And I'm on the monthly chart, so each candle represents a month. So that's 18 months from the halving to the bull run, 18 months from the halving to the bull run, and then we just had the halving there a few months ago. So if we count 18 months on from this halving, if it follows suit like the other two, it will bring us to October 25. So because of the ETFs and all that kind of thing, it might have changed up things a little bit. Bitcoin might peak a bit earlier. It definitely hasn't peaked now. It's definitely the bull run is going to peak next year, was what I think anyway, but nobody really knows. But if it follows, and that's that bit there. And just to show you another bit of info you can get off this chart, which is the same on the last two cycles. If we count back from the halving back, we can find when was the best time to buy Bitcoin in the cycle. So if we count back from this halving, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I have that in the wrong place. So 16 months back from the halving was the best point to buy Bitcoin. And if we do this again here, so we have the halving that we just went through, and if we count back 16 months again, it's exactly 16 months where the lowest point for Bitcoin was, the best time to buy. So just for shits and giggles, I put it in here. So this is the next halving, which is going to be in April, approximately April 2028. So if it follows suit for the next two, the best time to buy Bitcoin on the next cycle will be December 26. That's 16 months back from April. So that's just a little bit of, I like this chart. It just kind of helps me. I just keep an eye on it, see how it's going. But it's good the way the last two cycles were kind of the same. So hopefully if it does follow suit, it gives us an idea. I'm aiming that I think the peak, Bitcoin will peak in October, maybe a little bit early. I'm gonna maybe September, August, something like that. That's my guess. That's one thing. So that's the peak. How much is it gonna go to? There's a couple of things here we look at. Some people mightn't like it because it's not bullish enough, but it's what I think. So this is the Bitcoin rainbow chart. So power law. There's only two assets that follow power law, and it's Caspa and it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin has followed it for 15 years and Caspa has followed it for the last 2 years. And as far as I know, Caspa in the last 2 years has followed it more accurately than Bitcoin has in the 15 years. So if we have a look at this, so you have your upper and your lower tiers, and you can see it's never left. It's just constantly going up. And that's the Bitcoin one. So if we look at Mick O'Geno, you probably all heard of him. He's on YouTube as well, and he's made this up here. He had this one. I just added in some stuff. So this chart here, sorry, I'll make it bigger. So at the peak of he thinks, like, again, the peak of the bull run will be at the end of 2025, around the end of it sometime. And that will bring us up to here. And if you come across here, I showed you how to work it out in other videos, but it's about 380 it works out as. So power law says at the peak of this bull run, Caspa will get to 380 or 388, I think it was. And that's if power law. So it's good and it's bad. Like if power law, if it only goes to 380, some people won't be happy. If it goes to like $10 and it shoots up there and then it drops back down again, the power law is broken. But the thing about power law is if it's right, it's 380. But I mean, where are you going to get an investment like this? Whereas in the next one, when we go to 2029, you have the bottom price estimation, the middle one, and the top tier. So in 2029 bull run, worst case scenario on this, according to power law, is about $20, which is 166x. And so Caspa could be worth $20 in the peak of the bull run in 2029. If it goes to the middle tier and it hits $30, that's a 250x. And if it hits the top tier in the next bull run, it could hit $50, which is a 416x. So, I mean, that's why people think that a lot of people say Caspa is the next Bitcoin. It's better than the technology. Bitcoin is great. The technology at Caspa fixes some flaws with Bitcoin. But I mean, if it follows power law like Bitcoin does all the way up continuously, I mean, it's going to be a great thing to invest in for the future. So I have my 2025 backpacked, and I have a couple of one for my daughter for 2029, and I've another one packed for me in 2029. And that's that. So that's them ones there. Another thing that a lot of people like to do, if we compare ADA to CAS, and the reason to do that is because ADA had no smart contracts coming into the bull run. CAS might have smart contracts, but we heard Jonathan Sampolinski on the devs meeting on CAS on, I think it was Discord, that he said it's his third priority. His first priority is moving to 10 blocks per second, and then the second priority is Dagnoi, the protocol that fixes internet latency or follows internet latency. And then the final one, he said he'll get working on smart contracts. That's not to say somebody else isn't already working on it. So that being said, on if CAS hits the all-time market cap of ADA Cardano, it's a 22x, which is a 392. So that kind of falls in line with this one, where it says the top one is about 380, 388. So in my head, I think it's going to be, just below $4 for the tip of this bull run. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, I'm not a moon boy. I think that's what I think now. I'm going to be looking for around between August to October at the end of next year, and I'm going to be looking for a price of about $4. Like, so maybe whichever one of them hits first, I'm just going to have a look, and then I'm going to take some out, and I'm going to leave it. And I'm not going to sell it all, and I'm not going to buy back in. I'm going to sell some of it, and I'm going to keep a couple of 100k of Caspa there for 2029 as well, because you're not going to get these prices again. Like next bull cycle or after the bull cycle and Caspa drops back down, it could just drop back down to 85 cents. You're not going to get these prices at 17 cents again. So why sell it all and buy back in at 85 cents? That's my opinion. And then Christian Ludwig here. So this guy he is one of the biggest holders of Caspa. He started mining it before it was 1 cent. And he has this kind of stuff here. So he's like, considering the recent surge in hash rate, we are now looking at 50 cent to $1 as the next positive price deviation for hash rate on the power law. Considering the model doubled, the likely deviation price range is just 2 months. I think a move to $1 is more likely with where hash rate will likely be at the time of the next price impulse. So because hash rate is flying up, like price usually follows. So he reckons that because of the hash rate is really blowing up at the moment, that the price will follow. So we're looking at a 50 cent to $1 maybe before the end of the year. And then there is more comments down the end here. I'll show you this. So do you think Who do you think is behind the massive hash rate increase? Seems like huge players are investing millions upon millions. The calculation is based on today's numbers, right? If hash rate accelerates further at this pace, price needs to be even higher. Correct, he says. Multiple public and private buyers. And down here, this guy has went $3 to $5 Caspa, and he says the 2025 impulse after this next one should mark the top $5 to $10. So your man Christian, he's a self-made millionaire. And now in fairness, I think he got lucky with mining Caspa because he had all them rigs there set up, and he started mining Ethereum, and then Ethereum moved to proof of stake, so he had a lot of miners there, so he switched them all to Caspa. He mightn't have gone looking unless that happened with Ethereum, but he still did it, and he made the right choice, and he's one of the biggest holders of Caspa now. I think since what's the name of that crowd came on, the bigger ones, the bigger mining crowd, his percentage dropped down. He's not one of the he's not making as much as he was. Sorry, Marathon. And basically, that's the whole thing. That's what I think. So I think maybe around $4 for this bull run, and I think it's going to be about August to October, maybe a little bit sooner because of the ETFs, but and then 2029. So if you're a bit late into Caspa and you're only buying now and you don't want to cash out, you just hold it till 2029 or into the future. You keep an eye on power law. If it's following power law, I mean, your investment is pretty safe there. And you'll make some money in 2029. Can you imagine like if it hits $4 this bull run, it mightn't be that much money for you. You mightn't have enough cash, but in 2029, if it hits 20 or 30 or $50, like that's a great investment return. So that's all I wanted to bring to you in the video. If you found it interesting, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll keep you up to date with all the KRC20 and Caspa updates. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again.